countdown mark here. I gotta make sure everything's working after Twitch imploded. That's always fun. Let's see. Let me refresh because it says nothing is online. Okay, I think it was a refresh problem. Looks like Twitch might be okay. Let's see. Yes, okay. Alright, I think Twitch is alright. Oh boy, I think everything is live. Well, isn't that a miracle? Cool. Alright, gotta get my links. God, everything might actually be working. Oh, I didn't check Twitter, which is also having constant problems. Hey, that one's working as well. Hey, look at that, 9 viewers. How about that? Hello, everybody on Twitter. What's up? I don't know if Twitter people can, like, chat, though. On Periscope, they could chat. But I don't think there's a chat anymore on Twitter. Let's see what I got. Minute 17. Alright. Posts in the Discord. Boom. Look, I didn't forget to do it this time. There we go. Alright, cool. 50 seconds. We got good time. Oh, I didn't do the alert windows. Not that they work half the time anyway. So I end up, I got the Streamlabs thing where you can make an alert and it makes a sound and it's all really cool. Except that doesn't work half the time. And I don't know why. So, like, if you ever see, like, somebody's name pop up for, like, a follow notification and there doesn't seem to be any sound attached to it, that's why. It just, like, randomly works. Oh, shit, 10 seconds. Alright. Get my... I gotta get... Yeah. Okay, I should be able to see all the chats now. And everybody should... Oh, shoot. There we go. 0. Alright, off to a great start. Welcome back, fellow scrubs. Mark D. Wiz, working on the Retro Mansion game today, which is a old school 2D... Oh good, the screen worked. Here, I'll just show it. Old school 2D game thing, controllers went to sleep. Here. It looks like this, and it's kind of sort of a Metroidvania game. Although it's different, but legally distinct. So we're going to be working on this today. So, the last thing I put in, and I don't know if I've actually shown this on stream. But you know what? I showed part of it on stream. I developed part of this system. The doors now can go between different map files. So you'll notice, potentially, that this map file is just this. It's just a bunch of doors that go to different parts of the game. And let me kind of maybe open this up so that you can see it. But yeah, there we go. Alrighty. So if we go to T, that's the map for Tim to do stuff on. So if you remember last time we were messing with multiple people were messing with the same map, and we ended up screwing up each other's edits. So now I made a map just for Tim, and it's literally, it's blank except for that door, and then that door just goes back to this map that has all the doors. This was the original debug area, so it may look familiar to you guys. And that's all self-contained now. It's not part of the other map, so we can go in there. And then original is this map with all the caves and stuff. So it's all interconnected now, and there's an M map, and that's going to be my personal map to test things out in, so that if I make a change in here, theoretically no one else should be changing this file unless I'm aware of it, and everything should work out okay. And again, it is switching actual files here to do all this. So I remember getting most of the system working, but I got the rest of it working. Oh yeah, I had to redo how it was loading stuff to make it properly manage the scenes. And the other thing I was talking about before is having it so that I could have a level file open, and then that level file would be the one that I started by default. And that is true now. It actually works that way. So if I were to unload this scene, or rather remove the scene, and I start, well actually this will probably break because I'm out in the middle of nowhere, right? Yeah, but it does load the default map file now. So theoretically it would place my character over here and hit play. But if I have, I think it's called first map. Yeah. But if I have one that's loaded already, it will just accept that as what's loaded. And that's a quicker, easier way for me to figure out. Not figure out, but in order to edit the files, I don't have to, I'm not forced to, rather, to load the default hub world and then have to go to where I want to go. I can just have the map that I want open, I put the character wherever they're supposed to be, and then that's it. I've been thinking about making a sort of homing beacon, I guess, if you want to call it, so that I can move that to where the player needs to go, and then when it loads, it'll load into that. I think that would be a reasonable addition to make, but I don't think I'll be doing that specifically today. But, Tim's not here, by the way, if you've noticed. Oh yeah, I guess I can log out of the joint call. Yeah, you'll notice my name disappeared off the screen there. I got it hooked into Discord so it can show who's there and who's talking and whatever. Which I guess it's not a bad idea for any stream, but anyway. You know, even if I was alone. However, anyway, in this case, Tim's not here today, so I was gonna get Tim set up with his map, but there wasn't anything to do with that now if he's not here. I'm trying to think of what. Oh, you know what else? Here, I loaded this ahead of time too, so I wouldn't forget. We'd been discussing about how, especially now that the doors are working, right? At least on a technical level. We were discussing how are the hallway doors going to work, and to just kind of refresh everybody's memory here, the way that the hallway doors work. And by hallway we mean this level here. So if Ricky is on the outside of the mansion, who go in through the door and end up here, right? And now this is considered the hallway section. And then when you go through one of these doors, you end up in a level, essentially. Okay, chat says, so where can you play Retro Mansion when it comes out? That's a great question. I would expect, and I can't promise any individual one here because uh, I don't have any negotiations or contracts with any distributors. So the plan is, if everything goes according to plan, then we should at least see it on Twitch. Or not Twitch, oh my god, Steam. We should at least see it on Steam. I'm an absolute legend. Well, I appreciate that. I'm not sure I agree. But I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, the goal is to at least get it onto Steam, right? And then the idea would be you could then port the game to other consoles. Now, who knows? You have to go through big approval processes for all this stuff. I mean, Steam's not too bad, but like, say if you wanted to make a Switch port, right? You need to get registered with Nintendo and they need to approve you as a developer, and then you have to rent out like development kits and stuff. Like, it's a whole big deal. So I don't want to like promise, oh yeah, absolutely gonna have it on Switch, gonna have it on everything, you know, because who knows? It's actually a big process, and they seem pretty liberal with accepting developers, but there's no guarantee that you can get in. So I would say the best bet would be Steam, but it's going to be quite a while until we, get to that point. So I would say, at least for now, you can just keep checking on the YouTube, or you can follow me on Twitter at MarkDWiz. When it comes out, you'll know. I'll be talking about it nonstop. There's a couple other platforms I'm going to look into. Steam's obviously not the only PC platform, but whether or not the game will end up in a form that can go to different platforms is difficult to say right now. So, like, I don't know yet if we plan for any expansion stuff. Maybe we want at some point to have some sort of an expansion. Say, hey, base game is this amount of money, and then we made an extra level map, and you can get it for a couple bucks or whatever. Some platforms don't do DLC, and some do, so it depends. And there's a lot of research between now and the time that the game's ready. Who knows what? Everything could have changed anyway, so that's my long-winded answer. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm sorry it couldn't be a very short answer, though. I guess the short answer is, I don't know yet, we'll see. It depends on who will accept us and who won't. But I don't foresee any, like, super issues. So yeah, the idea here is that the hallway acts like the hub. You can go into the level, and then if you can unlock the door, you can leave again. And some levels have connections to other levels, and so on and so forth. So we're talking specifically about the hallway doors. So how do we lock the door? The basic idea is the door is a monster. And once you enter, the monster locks the door or makes the door disappear or whatever. And then you have to go and find the monster in the level to beat them to leave again. And so the basic idea, and I built this crude animation to kind of like not showcase, but to kind of explain, without me explaining in words, visually explain what I meant by that. So let's take a look. You enter the door, and that basically is what happens. However, it may not eat the door, it may dissolve the door, it may vanish the door, I don't know. Whatever the case may be, the idea is you enter from the hallway, there's the hallway, and there's the level. And then once you get inside, the monster takes care of the door, and then they either run away or disappear or something. So the idea of them running away, so we discussed this internally at length. I like the idea of them running away in a certain direction, because that gives you an idea of where you might want to start looking to try to find where the monster went. You can give, I mean, the discussions went back and forth as to how much do you want to confuse the player. I mean, obviously it was a mystery. The first time you see it, it's a mystery. Whoa, what happened? You know, the world went away. If you don't give the player any kind of direction on where to look, I'm not sure that would be good. Or you want to give them a direction to look in if you want to give them a short-term goals. Making the player feel completely lost, usually not good idea. That's usually pretty bad. You never want the player to feel lost. In fact, a lot of times, players will cite this as a negative about games that fall into the Metroidvania genre, for lack of a better term. Where they're like, I don't like getting lost, I get lost and I don't know where to go. And then either they consult a guide or a YouTube video or ask a friend. And we've all been there. Hey, poke around, what's up? We've all been there. You get like the old Castlevania. Well, my mic is what? Really? Okay, hold up. Alright, let me know if this is better. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully it's alright. So yeah, we've all kind of been there with the old Castlevania games, right? That's better? Okay. Yeah, I don't know, this mic gets weird sometimes. Honestly, all I did was unplug it and plug it back in. It's just that weird. Like the old games, like Symphony of the Night, like the Game Boy Advance, Castlevania games. I know I've been there where, you know, me and my friends, we all got it. And then at some point, one of us would get lost. And we wouldn't know where to go. And then we'd have to ask one of our friends or go online. The Game Facts, do you remember Game Facts? With the written guides? I don't know how we ever survived back in the day. And I don't think that that's good, and people have to cite that as a source of frustration for games like this. And I want to think very carefully in a way that, like, I don't want people to be frustrated. Like, you can't just make the game easy street, right? And there's got to be some bit of exploration, and people getting lost is sort of an inevitable consequence of having free exploration, be able to move around and go back and forth. You know, otherwise you'd rather have it be a linear game and then you wouldn't get lost at all. If you could compare this game to anything, what would it be? That's a good question. I think that's one of the biggest flaws of Super Metroid. I have not played the entirety of Super Metroid. I got like a couple hours in. See here, let me run around the map here. I mean, obviously you're gonna have some Castlevania parallels, you know, where you can go room to room and stuff. So I don't know, maybe that's the closest. But it's not going to be completely like that because the hallway system's rather unique. And I don't think any other game like this uses something like that. So you'll have different areas and you'll be able to explore and get items and get stronger and all that. So I think it really does kind of classify in the basic sense of like the Metroidvania Castlevania formula. So I would say probably the Castlevania Game Boy Advance games will probably be the closest approximation. It's not going to be super complicated. You're not going to have like a million abilities. I want to keep things pretty focused. So it may feel like almost like a hybrid between the old Castlevania games and then the newer ones, if that makes sense. The newer 2D ones, I guess. We're not talking about Lords of Shadow. We're talking about like the Game Boy Advance, the DS kind of stuff. But it does have several differences that are very key. So it is kind of unique in itself. Hopefully that answers the question. And then I think the hallway system will make it really unique in this kind of genre. You don't really see anything quite like this, where the map is almost layered. If you imagine like sheets of paper being layered on top of each other, and you come up and down the layers of the map. What are those skulls? I missed most of the stream, so what's this game? The skulls, they're just like a placeholder, a little boss indicator of like boss health. So this is all placeholder. Like I can't actually take damage or anything, and you can't use items yet. I just drew the HUD and put it in so we had something to look at here. And it kind of like, in my mind, kind of space things out and say like, okay, how much information can we actually put into here? You know, stuff like that. And the basic idea is, it's kind of like a haunted mansion setup. So the kids get lost. A bunch of kids show up at a haunted mansion. And right now we're going with the idea that one of them gets kidnapped and then the other two get separated. And so then now you're alone and you've got to get through the mansion, find your friends, and get the heck out. But there's something keeping you there, like you can't just leave. So you have to go through, you have to fight the bosses, you got to figure out what's up with the mansion, and then you can, you know, eventually get everybody out and leave. And that was the basic idea that we're running with. Well, you can you can jump and run and whatever. It's still very early in development, so you can jump around and stuff, but that's about it. This is a weird comparison, but is the layer kind of like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze? I don't know. I've never actually played it. I don't know. I've never heard anybody describe Tropical Freeze as having like a layered map system. I just kind of figured it was like the old Donkey Kong countries. But I don't know. Again, I've never played it, so I'm not really sure. Not that I don't want to play it, I just never bought it. But it looks interesting at least. It has a layer system on the levels. I'll have to check it out then, or at least check a YouTube video out. At least this will be all interconnected, where I'm assuming Tropical Freeze is, you know, you enter a level and you complete the level and move on. Where here, when I say level, I really mean like it's still interconnected with the rest of the game. It's just you using the hub system. Oh, the Smash stage also has that? There's a Tropical Freeze stage? Like, there's so many stages in Smash now, I don't even remember, to be completely honest. I really don't remember. So how will you be able to attack when the game is complete? Yeah, you'll be able to attack. That's why I say it kind of will feel maybe a little more like the old Castlevanias, the non-exploration ones, in terms of like movement and combat and stuff like that. You'll be able to turn around in the air and stuff, but yeah, literally 100 plus stages, yeah, for real. I have never seen anyone play the Tropical Freeze stage. But you'll be able to, like Ricky here, his plan is to have a baseball bat. as his primary weapon, and then where's my sheet of guys? There it is. So yeah, I drew him with a baseball bat in one frame, but I don't have him attacking yet. I don't have him swinging the bat, but he'll swing the bat, kind of like, you know, a character might swing a sword in a game. But all the kids will have like, kind of like toy weapons in a way. Will you be able to attack diagonally? That's a good question, and I don't know yet. It might make sense to let them attack diagonally down and forward, like the Castlevania games do. I don't plan to let you attack, like, straight up above you, though, for example. At least I don't think so at this point. Yeah, everything's, like, super early in development. You just really got the foundational stuff here. Oh, I drew a key, too. We talked about keys, because we were talking about doors. So I drew a key. But I think I want keys to not be what the boss doors are. I think I want, when you beat the boss, or when you beat the door monster, it should just turn into the door wherever you are fighting it. What are the other sprites? Oh, so here's the 3 kids. The plan right now is to let you choose between the different kids, and the different kids had different ways of have different weapons and stats and stuff like that. And then you pick one of them and you go through the game as that. This is one of the bad guys. We just call him Shadow Kid right now. It's kind of like his development name. Excuse me. He's gonna be one of the bad guys in the mansion. One of the primary bad guys. And then over here is the mouse. And the mouse is going to act like a shopkeeper. So the idea is that when people enter the mansion, they slowly get turned into different monsters. And so Shadow Kid's a high-level, powerful monster, like a monster kid. And he kept mostly his human appearance, but he can manipulate the sludge and like warp around the mansion with that. And then the mouse kid ended up turning into a mouse monster, which is not very threatening, but he wants to help you get out, so to speak. So that's those characters. This was a goof. We thought about, what if the kids had like alternate costumes, like Halloween costumes or something. So I doodled that one really quick. Thought that was appropriate for Ricky. Here's a potential human form for Shadow Kid. Maybe that's what he looks like before he got turned into, you know, this. And that's pretty much it. Then just like different facial expressions and stuff like that. Oh, these are the old versions. So this is the old and the new. And we've got couple enemies. So like here's a enemy in a coffin kind of thing. Dino Boy, yeah. Honestly, it's based off a Halloween costume I used to have as a kid. I thought it was funny because it was also green, and I'm like, well, Ricky's primary color is green. It might be a good fit for him. So we got some enemies, you know, in pixel art, but we've got Koi does the concept art here. So here's like Shadow Kid's, one of his original concept arts. You see, he's got kind of like the slimy form. So the story is you're drawn to the mansion and you can't leave until you beat the bosses. Yeah, essentially. We're still trying to figure out all the details, but that's the idea. There's something with the mansion that makes it so you can't leave. So like you can maybe attempt to leave. We were thinking like if you left the mansion grounds, let's see, do we have, where's the other one? where's my map here? So say like if you left the mansion grounds, you tried to leave through the forest, it might look like you're going somewhere, but it would be like an endless loop where you can't get out, and then you can keep walking to the left and it looks like you're walking through the forest, but as soon as you turn back around and walk to the right, you're back where the mansion is again. So something like that. Luigi's Mansion but epic. I've actually never played Luigi's Mansion, but people seem to like it, so I would say that I'd be very honored if I could live up to the quality of Luigi's Mansion. Oh yeah, here's oh, this is before we changed the perspective of the graphics. The characters used to look head-on, and we changed that. Now they kind of look at a side angle. Oh no. Is it on here? Oh yes, here. You can see the difference between them here. So this is the straight ahead angle, and then this is the side angle. That's another one of the monsters. Kind of like the forest from Mario RPG. Well, that one's more like the Lost Forest. You know what? It's like the endless staircase from Mario 64. So the last staircase to Bowser. It's kind of like that. Where if you keep walking, you'll just keep walking and walking and walking and walking and walking forever. Until you turn around and figure out that you've actually never been anywhere. Like you're still at the bottom of the stairs, that kind of thing. Would be cool if you die, you turn into a monster. But I was thinking to do some kind of like plot point like that, where I don't want to implement a time limit, but maybe one of the kids that gets kidnapped. Oh, here's the old sprites. Think of like if one of the kids gets kidnapped, maybe one of them can turn into a monster or start to turn into a monster. You know, and maybe that could be a boss or something. I think that would be neat. It kind of reinforce the whole idea of what the mansion's actually doing to these characters. But yeah, here's the mouse, the original mouse. He was really small back then. He didn't look quite like a mouse kid, just a mouse. That's an old mouse. Yeah, I think it's pretty neat. I think it'll work out alright. There's still a lot of story questions to answer, but I think we've got some good themes going, like Shadow Kid's kind of like middle management for the mansion. There's got to be some sort of overarching, like, big entity in the mansion doing what it's doing. The Shadow Kid's just another victim among the others. However, Shadow Kid decided to cooperate with whatever this entity is. And so he's been sort of granted extra powers, and he's been granted sort of management, like a middle manager of things. So he controls all the stuff and the bosses. And then there's going to be, you know, that entity beyond him. Where are these parents' kids? But like Julius and Arya Sorrow, I don't know what you mean by that, and what specifically do you mean and related to that message? So the kids just snuck away on their own, so I don't know. You've never snuck away with your friends and gone somewhere you shouldn't? Come on. So I think that the basic theme of the Shadow Kid is like, Shadow Kid's kind of a bully? Oh, you're talking about Shadow Kid? Well, Shadow Kid's kind of I think it's kind of like the bully archetype of, he's got power now, and he's going to use that power to push around people in the mansion. You know, not just any people that wander in, but also like the bosses. He's kind of the boss in that way. And then I think his story arc will have to involve, you know, kind of like the classic insecurities of bullies. A lot of bullies lash out because of insecurities that they have. And I think I'd like to explore that in relation to the Shadow Kid. So it's possible that he could find a redemption. You know, he could be reformed. Or he could be playing double agent too, where yeah, he's technically on the side of the mansion, whatever evil's inside the mansion, but he may be looking to get out of his own accord, or to turn the tables, or to become the top dog. You know, and then he can play both sides in that way to get whatever he's looking for. You know, something like that might be interesting. Ricky looks like he came from Game Boy. I guess that works. Depends on what year it is. People my age don't typically have helicopter parents. Yeah, but this is supposed to basically be like a throwback to like the late 80s, early 90s kind of thing. We want to have weapons. Like the kids will use weapons that are like toys and stuff. So like Ricky's got a baseball bat. But we were thinking like one of the kids could have like a generic brand Skip It kind of toy. You know, something like that. Or like a slingshot. You know, those kind of classic 90s toys. And then all the weapons are kind of predicated on those basic ideas. So that's where we had, I don't know. I just kind of banged these out real quick. Did you see there's like, let me blow this up here. There's like a baseball and a bowling ball and a slingshot. And then, you know, there's the health item. Those are the kind of things that we're thinking of. One of the ideas I was thinking that Ricky might throw a baseball up and then you have to press the attack button to swing the baseball bat in order to hit the baseball. You know, like a projectile. Which, I don't know if it might be a little too complicated. Maybe it would work, maybe it wouldn't. I'm not really sure. It's kind of, it would be a little finicky, so you could throw it and then drop it if you don't hit it, you know what I mean? But maybe you could charge your bat swing up and then hit it farther if you charged up as opposed to hitting it normal. So those are the kind of interesting things I was thinking with that. But I'm just a little afraid that maybe it's just too complicated. That maybe you just would hit the baseball button, for lack of a better term, and then he just goes through the whole thing of throwing it and hitting it automatically. And Ricky's not meant to be like a long-range one, so let's see, like the baseball or like the ball power-up from Mega Man. Oh, you mean like Mega Man 8, where he drops the ball and then he can kick it? Yeah, it would be something like that, I guess. Except he would throw it up and it would drop down and you'd have to hit it at a certain timing. Which might make it really weird to do in air, right? Who's stronger, baseball or a coffin? Yeah, good point. Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be interesting to be able to do something with the ball that interacts a bit differently than just like throwing it, right? I figure he wouldn't just throw it. Like, sure, that could hurt, but if you want to do massive damage, then you would hit it. You know, you would hit the baseball with the baseball bat, and then it's going to go way faster and be way stronger of an attack. So something like that, I think, would be interesting. Then, like the skip it would be, and I don't think I have a diagram here, but if you think about how that would work, let me grab Melody here, because she might be the one that has the skip it. So if you think like when you activate the skip it, it would start here. It's like attached to your leg, right? But then it would like swing here. Oh, that's really bad. It would like swing to here, and it's still like attached here. And then it would swing back, so it would be circling around you like a skip it. You know, they do a little animation that does the skip it, and then it would be an attack that just hits around you in this range. Like that would be the idea, and it can hit front and back. So it'd be good, like if you're surrounded, maybe. It's a different situation, but there's an attack like that in Last Blade 2. That's neat. Would be tricky to have the ball, or would be tricky to have the ball bounce back off something, and then you can hit it again and keep the damage up. That'd be interesting. I think it'd be really difficult to manage. I've seen games that have done something like that, like a ricochet mechanic, yeah, and it's been really, really difficult to rack things up like that. So I would be concerned that that might just be way too hard to do. I wouldn't mind a ricochet like Yoshi's Island. So in Yoshi's Island, you can throw a Yoshi egg and bounce it off the wall. And then, like, if it hit something, I think it would stop, right? But if it didn't hit anything, it would keep bouncing. Maybe do something like that. Oh, yeah, we already have, like, a differentiation between walls and ceilings. Kind of depends on, on the object's perspective. So if the object gets turned upside down, it will think that the ceiling is the floor, and the floor is the ceiling, and so forth. Or if they get turned 90 degrees, they'll think the wall is the floor, the other wall is the ceiling, and the ceiling and the floor are the walls to it at that point. So we do have that distinction already. That wouldn't be too difficult to do. I think the bigger question would be, and not just speaking to hitting it over and over, but just for the ricochet itself. How would that work exactly? Would it always be a 45-degree angle trajectory? Or would you do something to potentially change the trajectory of the item? And that's an open question, actually. So go ahead and type something out there. I gotta take a quick, tiny little break, and I'll be right back. And then I'll read your messages, and we can discuss it more. Okay, let's see. Chat says, well, the idea is just don't let it hit the ground. Oh yeah, but yeah, I do have code to detect that. Then you have to consider if the target is moving too. If you want to hit the ball again, it's coming towards you, then it might be unwieldy. Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking there, on my short little break, it might be better if it just went at a certain trajectory. It doesn't have to go a straight 45-degree angle, like Yoshi's Island. So let me actually pull that up. In case anybody out there either A, hasn't played it in a while, or B, has never played it. Which is very, very, very good game. Yoshi's Island playthrough. Wait till the ad goes away. Yoshi's Island actually lets you aim it. But I wonder if that might not be good for what we want. Oh my god, how many friggin' ads are gonna play here? I'm just waiting for them to finish. And they're unskippable too. YouTube's really going to hell. I mean, I love you, YouTube. Please don't remove my channel. Oh, this must be... I know it's a long one. Okay, I skipped way ahead. Kinda wait for him to get eggs here and to throw them. He's not going to, is he? Oh my god, let's go back to the first friggin' stage. Okay. Yep, we don't need to read that. Okay. Here. See how you can aim it and you can throw it? I don't know if we necessarily want to have aiming for this, because the other thing too is it's not the only weapon that he's going to have, right? He's going to have the baseball as the primary weapon. You got to think of it like Castlevania. You can't just throw the axe in every direction, right? The idea is that the axe only covers a certain range that you have to above yourself, where you can't normally hit, right? So you got to think of it like that, where we're only using this Yoshi's Island example as like for Ricochet and maybe how it might play. So assume that he can only shoot these at like 45-degree angles. Are you really not going to shoot him down? Shoot him down! He's not going to shoot him down. Oh, he has to shoot into this now. No? What is he doing? Who plays Yoshi's Island like this? He really wants all those coins. Oh my god. He's trying. He's going. Shoot the thing. There you go. See how it ricochets? Just like that. Now, regarding Ricky's version of it, it might be something like... undo that. So, let's see. We got Ricky here, right? And then we've got a wall here. I'm just gonna make it brown because whatever. There. So what you could say is when he throws the baseball, or maybe he throws it up and he hits it, right? But it might have a trajectory kind of like this, and then it may bounce back like that. Maybe it goes a little higher, bounces like that, something like that. you know? If it does something like that, I think it would be interesting. I don't think it should just go straight like this. Yoshi's Island will just hit it, and it doesn't lose any momentum. It just bounces all the way around. But here, the baseball, I think, makes more sense. If you throw it, it would, or hit it, throw it up and hit it, that it would bounce like that. And maybe that's its only trajectory. It only just goes up, you know, like that. It's kind of hard to say what range you would want it to go. You know, how far would it go? I suppose we could take a screenshot here and then play with it. Okay, controller, come out of sleep. Thank you. I think this goes to the center of the mansion. Nope. Let's be this one then. Yeah. Well, let's see. Yeah, I guess we'll put Ricky in the center here. And then I'm gonna take a screenshot. By the way, if you're on Windows 10, I don't know. I guess 11 came out. If you're on Windows 10, hold the Windows key, Shift, and press S. And that's how you get that quick select. So, okay, we've got this here. We'll pretend that this is a wall. And then we can make this bigger. Wow, bigger yet. Okay, that's better. We'll assume that this is a wall here. And then, so our trajectory is purple. That stands out. When you hit it, maybe it would go like that. Because if you were sitting over here on this side, would you want it to go? I don't know, how far would you want it to go? Something like that. It really depends. But you could say that it hits here, and then it hits like this. I don't know if it would hit twice. That'd be kind of neat if it did hit twice. Or if it hit an enemy, would it just stop? I mean, these are all very important questions, and they greatly influence game balance. Because if you could hit it off the wall. Two things for Ricochet. Either one, you want to add it because either one of two effects. Either one, you want to get it so that it can hit something higher than you currently are at. So say there's the bat here. He's up in the air, and I guess he needs little bat ears, right? Yeah. And you couldn't hit him normally, so you'd have to shoot the ball to the wall and bounce it up to hit him. That would be one scenario. The other would be if Mr. Bat here is here, and you want to hit the ball and it smacks him here first, then bounces back and then smacks him a second time. Like, that would be the other idea of a Ricochet. Like, functionally, right? Visually, whatever. It's kind of cool to have a visual of it, but I wouldn't just do it for that. I mean, what else? What other mechanical reason would there be to have one? I feel like if the idea is to allow multiple hits from a Ricochet, then you would want it to have a trajectory similar to this. Because you want it to be able to bounce and then come back relatively in the same spot. you know, at like half of its trajectory. And that way you could actually hit the double. And if you wanted to use the wall as a ricochet point in order to hit something higher than you, that's actually different. I think it would be much easier to control if there was no velocity decay. It was like Yoshi's Island where it just bounced and that's it. Think about bouncing projectiles makes me think of Gimmick on the NES. Oh yeah, because Gimmick would get the star. You'd charge up the star and it would bounce on the ground, right? Yeah. This is a tough one. I'm kind of leaning toward either Ricochet can hit multiple times, or there just isn't Ricochet. Because I think without having straight shots like this, think of it like a gunshot instead of like a ball bouncing, right? The gunshot makes a lot more sense in terms of aiming for things that you couldn't have hit without doing the ricochet shot. Because without it, you'd have to have a very specific positioning to get the arc to work right, to go that high. And not only that, you'd have to worry about the velocity decay when you're trying to use it in the heat of battle. And maybe that's a little too much. Yeah, it does work like a parabola in Gimmick, yeah. It just kind of bounces along the floor. Depending on how high it can bounce, it may also be difficult to hit things like that too. I know the lifting and throwing crates in MC Kids or Mick Kids, whichever way you want to call it, on the NES, was kind of a problem because it was really hard to get the box to actually hit the enemy because it could bounce high enough where it could go over the enemy. I heard Gimmick is a hard as hell game because of the bouncing projectiles, because in some cases you have to jump off of it as a foothold. Oh Jesus. And they went all in on that mechanic. Oh, that sounds a little rough. Yeah, that sounds a bit rough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still undecided here, thinking about how this should really work. And again, the baseball is not final. There's no real, not like I'm absolutely using the baseball. But I did think that it made sense if he had a baseball bat, he would have a baseball on him, right? I don't know. It's really making me think. Right now, thinking's hard because I'm a little bit tired. You can probably tell. Sip of coffee. Wake me up. I've actually been up for a very long time today. I got up early. It's probably no saving me at this point. It's all downhill from here. But I don't know. I'm really thinking about this. I think, yeah, without it being a straight shot, I mean, you could have it be a straight shot for a limited time. Like, maybe it would go, like, this far, and then it would start to decay. I mean, you know, it's a video game, right? So, whatever. You know, you could do something like that, where it's like, boom, boom, and then it starts to slow down. And then theoretically, like if you had a wall up here, you know, it could go boom, boom from here to here and then finally fizzle out. To be fair, I worked a full 9-hour shift and my dumb ass is going to stay up to download and play Metroid tonight too. Look, I think we can all admit here that we've done things like those, so don't feel bad. Don't feel alone in that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think how this would really go. I don't know. The baseball idea is not well thought through, I think. Part of me feels like it should just shoot forward, and if it hits a wall, it just stops. Like, it may visually bounce off, but it won't necessarily cause any damage to occur as a result of it. Might be the safest bet. And it would have a kind of a low angle of, it would have kind of a low angle. So maybe it would be more like a direct long-range ability? I don't know. Whereas it going 45 degrees would definitely help you cover things in the air, which is kind of what these items are supposed to be like. The bowling ball, by the way, is, you would drop it here, and then it would hit, and then it would roll forward. And it would work kind of like Holy Water in Castlevania, where it does a lot of damage, but it only rolls along the ground. There's also avoiding the bouncing mechanic with the baseball and just go into a timing mechanic that works like Cody's stone V-trigger if you have the right items equipped. You know, I've never played Cody in 5. Do you actually have to hit the stone manually after you throw it? 'Cause that's what I was thinking of before. I'm just not sure if that would be a bit too much to have to juggle in the heat of the moment. Then the slingshot, Ricky might not actually have the slingshot. I was wondering if the slingshot could be, yeah, you can with the pipe. Okay. I didn't realize you actually had to hit it manually. I've seen people just throw it and hit it so consistently that I never realized it was not an automatic action. I don't think Ricky would have the slingshot. I was thinking maybe Melody might have the slingshot or Deke might have it. Because Ricky's gonna kind of be the Unga Bunga character, and I guess that's slang for I just go in there and hit things. And then Deke is kind of like the smart character, so he might do things that require some setup and things that might be safer. It might do less damage, like a slingshot. Maybe you can hit from pretty far away, right? But you don't do as much damage necessarily. Maybe a slingshot can have different types of ammunition? Maybe. The slingshot, if the slingshot is a primary weapon, I'm not sure I would be too opposed to being able to aim that. So the idea would be once you press the button down, you stop moving, and you start aiming. And then perhaps the longer you hold the button down, the more momentum goes behind the shot. So like if you shoot it right away, then, and we'll just take Ricky as the example here. If you shoot it right away, maybe it goes like this. But if you hold the shot, then it'll go like this. You know, maybe something like that. kind of slow you down and get you in the habit of thinking your shots through more. And then either maybe after a while it's an upgrade, or maybe you have it right away. But if you hold it for a certain amount of time, you can do big damage. And not big damage, but like a charge shot. Like you can get bigger damage if you charge it up first and then let it go. But the whole idea here is that you cannot move while doing it. So it's not something you can just charge while you're moving and then let it go when you need to. You have to stay put in order to aim. Because once you hold the button, you can aim up, you know, or diagonals. You know, they would all be viable directions. But you can only aim while holding the button, because that's when you're charging up your shot. You know, something like that. We were talking about that amongst each other regarding the different characters. I think something like that would be nice. I've always wanted to do shooting mechanics that way. That you could shoot in 8 directions, or at least 7 directions. But in order to get the aiming, you have to hold down the button. And when you release, that's when it fires. And it makes sense for a slingshot. You pull back, so hold the button is pulling back, and release the button is releasing the slingshot, and it shoots. So it kind of has that real relationship to it in terms of like the action required to do it. I think that would be cool. And do something like that. And then obviously Ricky is just, I run up and hit with baseball bat because Ricky's kind of brain dead. Ricky just gets in there and starts swinging. And so he'll do higher damage because he has to take the risk of getting close. You know, stuff like that though. And then Deke, if Deke doesn't have the slingshot, I don't think we've come up with a base weapon for Deke, if that's the case. We thought maybe like a yo-yo. It's possible that a yo-yo might have an arced range to it. So maybe it's got a little more range than the baseball bat. It doesn't do quite as much damage, but maybe it covers more area. You know, something like that. But it's not quite as concentrated high damage. We haven't really thought about it. I mean, like the Kirby with the yo-yo hat, not necessarily like a full half circle range, right? But maybe more like a quarter circle in front. So if we were to draw that range, then maybe it hits like this. So maybe it hits like this. Or the Kirby one that Varianix is talking about, it actually hit like a whole thing, I think. Well, no, it did hit like this for the normal attack, right? But if you held up, it went like that. I think. Yeah, now I'm not sure. I don't remember. Yeah, it's because Superstar, that's where it first showed up. Superstar had a whole bunch of different attacks. When you dashed, Kirby would spin like a top upside down and move forward. I remember that. If you got close, you could grab them and then you would throw them behind you, which was really cool, and slam them into the ground. Man, Kirby Superstar was such a great game. It might literally just be the best Kirby game, period. That was so good. I have to play that on stream someday. Good. And you had co-op in that game too? You had all of the, it was kind of like split up into multiple games. Like substantial games. They weren't necessarily like super short. Like one was a remake of the first Kirby's Dream Land, and then there was like other ones. There was one. They all have kind of their own quirks to them. They all got the different rule sets to each game and make them a little different. That was a really good game, and you had like 5 of those in there, plus mini games. So pretty much as big as the first Kirby game on the Game Boy, or roughly that size. Yeah, each one. I think the Galaxy one was a bit bigger, but yeah, each of them were probably around that size until that point. Was the Meta Knight's Revenge, the Dynablade one. The Great Cave Offensive was actually pretty big. That might have been bigger. And then the last one, I don't know if it was called Milky Way Galaxy or something. But that one was definitely bigger than the original. So the weird thing though, the remake of Kirby's Dream Land 1, they called it Spring Breeze in that one. I think it's actually missing one level. So it's almost a complete remake of it, but it's not quite. And you also have the copy ability during it as well, which is different. You didn't have the copy ability in the original at first. They straight up added a Metroidvania and Superstar with Great Cave Offensive. Yeah, that was really cool. That was really, really cool. Yeah, it was like a mini one. I don't know if there were one-ways or not in that. Because you can finish it without finding everything. But I don't know if there's any, like, you only have one chance to get certain treasures before you get out. It changes your ending, I think, but as long as you get through it once, you can move on to the next one, which is good. And that kind of thing. Like, if the entire thing was going to be Metroidvania, that would be a different thing. Oh, didn't one of the Game Boy games do that? The Game Boy Advance one. I don't know if it was Squeak Squad? Or was that the DS one? No, the Amazing Mirror, right? Kirby and the Amazing Mirror? That one was a full interconnected game, I think. Yeah, right? Yeah. Amazing Mirror. That one was good. I think, wait, so, I don't think Hal made that one, right? Let's look that up for a second. Here's this tab. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I think someone else actually made that one. Wikipedia should be safe. Dimps. Yeah, so Dimps made it. Right? Yeah, I remember it not being like a strictly a Nintendo one. Which was interesting. Collaborative effort between HAL, Flagship, and Dimps. Oh, Capcom's subsidiary Flagship was responsible for the main planning. I was gonna say Capcom, but I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know. Because I know they did Minish Cap. Yeah, so Capcom was really tight with Nintendo at that point. They did the 2 Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, and then they did Minish Cap, and then they did this one, at least in part. They were really tight with Nintendo back then. Wish they would do more stuff like that now. They're probably too much concentrated on their own thing, though. Capcom, I mean. Yeah, Amazing Mirror was good. I think I played through it. I either played that one or the other one. Let's look it up. Amazing Mirror playthrough. Full playthrough. No, no ads. Get out of here. Oh my god. It's 15 seconds. It's still going. Video will play after ads. Oh, and it's only one of 2. That's great. Yeah, here's another unskippable. Oh, okay. Alright, we're good. There we go. The final boss was a star with an eye or something. That doesn't narrow it down in Kirby, unfortunately. Here, so let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the Metroidvania one. It's actually really cool. Yeah, see, he'll go in here and he'll end up in another spot. Yeah. It looked like he could go back, too. I know there were definitely some one-way paths in this game. But yeah, look how all the, Oh yeah, look at that. Opened up a new path. Yeah, look how all the paths lead to a door that you can go back through. Pretty sure this is it. This looks familiar. I'm pretty sure I played this one. You could get the Super Smash Brothers power in this game. So if you fought Master Hand, he's one of the enemies that shows up. If you eat Master Hand, then you get his Super Smash Brothers moveset. So you could like up, down, you know, up special, down special, neutral and stuff. Like it had his full Smash Brothers moveset. It was really sweet. This one was probably the one that's closest to Superstar. Because you had the up and down abilities. It wasn't like Kirby's Adventure. Oh yeah, and then you get hidden doors and stuff. Yeah, this one was good. I don't know where it's available anymore. I think they gave it to the 3DS ambassadors, if I recall correctly. And that might have been where I played it. I don't remember, to be honest. It's a good game, though. If you can find it, go for it. But yeah, he hasn't shown it, but you can charge a Hadouken and shoot it, too. It's got Cutter now. I don't know if the Cutter is as good as it is in Superstar, though. Superstar's Cutter was so good. If you got close to the enemy, you would do like a 3-hit combo, and it's great. Oh, he spit out... This thing's kind of like Wispy Woods, but he spit out golems instead. He's like Rock Wispy. Funny way to give a homage to that. This is no damage run? Oh yeah, no damage. I was gonna say, he's being awful careful. Oh yeah, that's right. And then you fill in the mirror. Once you fill in everything, you can go to the last boss or something. There's always a Wispy Woods and Kirby game. Yeah, it's usually actually Wispy himself, though. This one's funny that it's a derivative. Well, we get the idea, I guess. I've always wanted to make an interconnected game, and I always thought what would have been cool, and I don't know if the engine itself could support this, but I always felt like Mario 2 had the potential to be an interconnected game. Because it had the doors, you could go into the caves and use the doors in the subspace and stuff. But what if you could use subspace to like bridge the gap between different areas? Like you had to throw a subspace potion down, and then you had to get to the exit point that you want to like get around a certain obstacle or something. I always thought that would be really cool. And I've thought a lot about doing stuff like that. And that's a partial, I guess, inspiration for this project. To have that interconnectivity. But in a game that's, more simple, NES-like. Obviously, you can tell by the graphics. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know how much longer I can stay here. It's probably pretty apparent that I'm feeling very bad right now, and it's not just being tired. I'm actually starting to rapidly feel more sick the more I'm here. I don't think I can stay too much longer. Or at least it wouldn't be good for my health to do so. I really hate to do it, but I think I'll get really super sick if I stay. I don't know why. I ate pretty good today. That's usually what makes me feel bad, but I think I'm actually just getting sick. God, I hate this. You know what? It's probably the change in seasons. I hate the change in seasons. I always get sick. Shut it down? Yeah. You could probably tell that I'm like super low energy. Like I'm trying so hard to concentrate right now. Be gone, scrub. Yeah, I'm starting to like feel cold, and when you start to feel cold, like you're actually getting sick, and it's not good. I really think it's a big part of it's probably the season change. I always get sick during the season change. It's always bad. So I imagine that probably has a lot to do with it. The last time I got super sick on stream, I had sepsis. I don't have it this time. I didn't get a cut or anything today. But the last time I got super sick on stream, I was playing Pokemon Yellow. I'll never forget it. I'm sitting there playing Pokemon Yellow, and I felt pretty good. And I had cut myself earlier, and it was spoiled food from the fridge. I cut myself, and then I removed it and I threw it out, but it must have got the bacteria in there. And I felt fine until I was playing Pokemon Yellow on stream, and I'm sitting there. And like I'm playing, and all of a sudden I'm like, I think I have to go. Like it hit me so quick. It was just like all the energy fell out of me, and I started to get like full on shiver chills, like on stream. And I'm like, I need to go. Something's wrong. And I rode that one out because I didn't really know what it was. I'm like, oh, I guess I got the flu or something. And it was really bad. It was an awful night. I was like, see how I feel in the morning. Yeah, it was bad. It was not good. Don't do that. You got food poisoning with actually consuming the food. Yeah, I don't know if it was like super legit sepsis, but like when you think of like bacteria getting in your blood, I guess that's what it is, right? Wait, hold on, let's look it up. Google sepsis. I don't know if I spelled it right. What is sepsis? From the CDC. Here we go. Sepsis is the body's extreme response to an infection. It's a life-threatening medical emergency. Yeah, I wish I knew that at the time. Sepsis happens when an infection you already have triggers a chain reaction throughout the body. Infections lead to sepsis more often starts in the lung, urinary tract, skin, or gastrointestinal. Without timely treatment, sepsis can rapidly lead to tissue damage, organ failure, and death. And maybe it wasn't full-on sepsis, but it was fucking bad though. Yeah, it was like days of just like being completely down and out. I guess people like what they call blood poisoning. That's what led me to that. Let's see. Blood poisoning. Blood poisoning. Health, signs and symptoms, and... go away. Blood poisoning is a serious infection. It occurs when bacteria are in the bloodstream. Yeah, this is probably what I had. Despite its name, the infection has nothing to do with poison. Although not a medical term, blood poisoning is used to describe bacteria. Septicemia or sepsis. Yeah, okay, that's where I got the idea that it was sepsis. Still, the name sounds dangerous, and for good reason. Sepsis is a serious, potentially fatal infection. Blood poisoning can progress to sepsis rapidly, promoting for prompt diagnosis and treatment are essential to treat blood poisoning. Yeah, don't do what I do and just ride it out. I'm kind of stubborn when it comes to medical shit. If I don't feel like I'm dying, I won't go to the doctor. But understanding your risk factors is the first step in preventing the condition. Yeah. What causes blood poisoning? Blood poisoning occurs when bacteria causing infection in another part of your body to enter your bloodstream. Or be like me and get a cut and just push it right into your bloodstream. Presence of bacteria in the blood is referred to as bacteremia or septemia. Terms septemia and sepsis are often used interchangeably, though technically they aren't quite the same. Septemia is a state, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a state of having bacteria in your blood. Yeah, that's what I had. Can lead to sepsis. Sepsis is severe, often life-threatening. Yeah, don't do what I did and just, like, don't do anything about it except, like, rest. Because that's what I did, and it was probably dumb to do that. And I can blame Pokemon Yellow for the entire thing, because I'll never forget that. Playing through Pokemon Yellow. Yeah, I don't feel good, I think I have to go. Literally shivering. Any type of infection, whether bacterial, fungal, or viral, can cause sepsis. Yeah, that makes sense. And these infectious agents don't necessarily need to be present in the bloodstream to bring about sepsis. Okay, so I had at least a mild form of septemia. Sepsismia? I don't know. Whatever. This one. Based on the definitions, that's what I had. And now my eyes burn. The hand soap we use is so harsh. It gets on your hand, and you wash it off, but there's still trace amounts on it. So when I rub my eye, now it gets in my eye and it's burning. So, I'm trying to wipe it out. Ugh. Okay, we're good. Spends 12 minutes talking after he says he's on the stream. Look, I got really invested in figuring out what was wrong with me. I'm trying to make it worth everybody's time here. We're having a fun time learning about sepsimia. Is that like Mamma Mia? Is that the Italian way to say sepsis? Not really though. Yeah, I'm rapidly degrading, so I think it'd be better. Hey, we got some good discussion in, so I don't feel too bad about it. And Tim couldn't show up anyway, so I feel all right. But I'm starting to feel like that chill coming in on me, you know. So here, I'll leave you guys with this. Here, we're gonna draw a Ricky. All right. Our final thing for today. We'll say we got something done. We'll draw a Ricky face. That's a bad Ricky face. There we go. There's his ear. And I have his little eye here. And his other eye. There, we made it worth our while. And he's happy. And not sick, like me. There you go. Okay. And he's gonna say bye. And that's it. Alright, so let's see. Sunday. I don't know what we're playing Sunday, but we'll be back Sunday. I actually played some Multi-Blood with Tim today. Earlier. Much earlier. I think, I don't know, 6 hours ago. And it was good. We had fun. And so I'm sticking with it. It's good. I'm having fun with it. If you've been wondering how I've been feeling about it. Still mad about auto combos, but it's okay. We just use them now in the appropriate spots to use them. Oh, and Tim won the final set again, so I'm not happy about that, but it's my own fault. I just need to get better. But yeah, anyway, there's that, and so I'm just gonna say thanks for watching. I'm going to go lay down because I feel terrible, as you can probably tell. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks everybody for hanging out for the, I don't know, I guess we got an hour and a half in, so, or close to that. But yeah, I'll see you guys Sunday, and then back on Monday for more Pocket Fighter EX, and maybe I'll fix the build by then, so that's pretty much it. Thanks everybody for spending time with me, and I guess I'll see you later, so adios, and scrub out.